Alright, the last but not the least on the acquisitions of PPE is the construction. So, dito sa constructions na ito, for example, a building, instead na bibili na lang siya ng building na nakatayo na at ready to use, ang gagawin ng company is magkukonstruct siya ng isang building para sa kanyang business. So, kung i-construct niya ang building na yon, the cost of the assets or the cost of the building will be the total of the direct materials, the direct labor, plus the indirect costs or the incremental overhead. Instead of acquiring a building, ang gagawin ng ating company ay i-construct na lang niya itong building na ito. So, ang magiging cost ng asset natin kapag kinonstruct ng company ang building na yon will be the total of the direct materials plus the direct labor, the indirect cost, and the incremental overhead. So, ano ba yung mga direct materials? Ito yung mga simento, yung lahat na nakikita natin sa building na yan ay kasama sa direct materials. So, yung mga windows, mga unang gagamitin na materials to construct this building, kasama yan sa cost ng asset. The direct labor, yung mga taong magkukonstruct ng building na ito, yan po ay kasama sa cost ng asset. At ang mga indirect costs, mga, for example, mga insurance during the constructions of this building, kasama yan sa cost ng asset. So, on the indirect cost and incremental overhead, pwede natin i-compute or i-calculate itong indirect cost and incremental overhead using the direct cost or the direct labor hours. Nadidetermine natin kung magkano ang indirect cost, which is kasama sa ating cost of the asset, by using the direct labor cost or the direct labor hours. Sa direct labor cost, pwedeng percentage of this direct labor cost na ito, madidetermine natin kung magkano ang dapat nating isama sa cost ng asset under the indirect cost or the incremental overhead. O pwede rin natin gamitin ang ating direct labor hours, i-multiply natin a certain amount of this direct labor hours, makikita natin kung magkano ang ating indirect cost at incremental overhead. So, dito sa constructions na ito, kino-compare natin ang market value ng building na ito versus the constructed building ng company natin. Dito sa constructions, kino-compare po natin kung mataas ba ang market value nung nakatayong building or yung kino-construct natin na building. So, sa accounting ng constructions of the building, kino-compare po natin ang building na almost the same as the building na kino-construct natin from the market versus the constructed asset ng company. So, kapag mas mataas ang market, let's say, for example, ang building na yon is cost 10 million. Then, nung kino-construct natin, ang cost ng asset na yan, ng building na yan is, let's say, for example, 8 million. So, ang ibig sabihin, kung 10 million sa market, pero kinonstruct natin ay 8 million, na halos parehas lang ang specifications. So, ang ibig sabihin, nagkaroon tayo ng savings na 2 million. So, paano natin ito ina-account itong savings na ito? So, we will compare the price in the market versus the actual cost of the construction. So, i-compare natin kung meron man tayong tinatawag na savings or meron tayong tinatawag na loss. So, if the price in the market is greater than the actual cost of the constructions, meron tayong tinatawag na savings. Let's say, for example, ang price in the market is 11,500,000. Example. So, ang price sa market is 11,500,000. Kung bibilhin nila ang building na yon versus kung i-construct nila ang building na ito. Let's say the actual cost of the construction is 10 million. So, kung i-minus natin ang price ng market versus cost ng constructions natin, we will have a 1,500,000 na savings. So, magkakaroon tayo ng 1,500,000 na savings. So, sa constructions na ito, ang actual cost of the asset will be the cost of the construction. So, yung 10 million lang ang i-record natin. So, therefore, yung 1,500,000 na savings, walang effect yon, okay? So, the cost of the assets will still be the 10 million. So, ang magiging entry natin dito is debit to the building and credit to cash. For example, cash ang outlay natin. So, yan ang magiging cost ng asset natin is the 10 million. Tandaan mo, ang savings, walang effect yan sa books ng company. Dahil ang i-record pa rin natin ng cost ng asset is the 10 million, which is the actual cost of the constructions. Pero paano naman if the price in the market is lesser than the actual cost of the construction? So, ang ibig sabihin, mas mataas ang cost ng constructions natin. Actual cost of the constructions is greater than the price in the market. So, yung price in the market is lesser than the actual cost of the constructions. Let's say, for example, we have 15 million priced in the market. And let's say, for example, we have the actual cost of the construction is 17 million. So, ang ibig sabihin, mas mataas ang actual cost ng constructions natin kaysa sa price in the market. So, paano natin i-record itong example na ito? Nagkaroon tayo ng 2 million loss. So, nagkaroon tayo ng 2 million na loss. Kung titingnan natin, the price in the market is only 15 million. Kung binili na lang sana natin yung building na yon sa market versus kapag kinonstruct natin itong building na ito. So, the actual cost constructions is 17 million. So, paano natin i-record itong 2 million na loss? So, itong loss na ito ay walang effect sa cost ng asset. Dahil ang cost ng asset pa rin natin, ang i-record pa rin natin is the 17 million. So, sa record natin, ang cost of the asset is still 17 million. So, walang effect ang ating loss na 2 million. So, our entry will be debit to the building and credit to cash of 17 million. So, 17 million pa rin ang cost ng asset o cost of the building, i-disregard na natin ang 2 million na loss natin. Pero paano naman kapag ang actual cost ng construction is materially excessive? Anong ibig sabihin nun? If the actual cost of the construction is materially excessive, meaning to say, masyadong malaki yung cost ng construction, magkakaroon tayo ng loss na kailangan nating i-recognize sa P&L or income statement. Let's say, for example, the price in the market is 15 million. But the actual cost of the construction, let's say, for example, we have 32 million. So, kung titignan mo, meron siyang loss na 17 million. So, therefore, the actual cost of the construction is materially excessive. So, ang gagawin ng company, we will get reasonable amount of the cost of the construction. So, let's say, for example, ang reasonable na amount ng kinonstruct ng company is 17 million. So ito po ang reasonable. 17 million is the reasonable amount of the cost of the construction. So anong mangyayari sa 17 million? The 17 million will be recognized as the cost of the asset, while the difference of the 32 million over the 17 million, which is 15 million, will be recognized as a loss in our profit and loss or the income statement. Ito po ang ating presentations of this materially excessive actual cost of the construction. Kapag materially excessive ang cost ng construction natin, kukunin natin yung reasonable amount of the construction, yun po ang magiging cost of the asset. So itong 17 million will be the cost of the asset. Therefore, itong 17 million will be debited to the account building. 17 million po ang magiging cost of our asset na building. And the 15 million will be recognized as a loss the construction. So itong 15 million na yan, i-recognize natin ito sa profit or loss or the income statement. So ganito po ang ating constructions. Dito sa construction na ito, kino-compare po natin ang price ng market sa kinonstruct ng company. Para makita natin kung meron nga ba itong materially excessive na cost ng constructions. Kapag meron siyang materially excessive na amount or the cost of the construction, then magre-recognize tayo ng loss on construction sa ating income statement or the profit or loss. Pag ang savings or loss ay reasonable, then hindi natin kailangan i-recognize sa profit or loss. Kapag ang price ng market is greater than the actual cost, nagkakaroon tayo ng savings. Alright? Ang effect nun is nagkakaroon ng mas mababa ang depreciation natin kesa sa kung binili natin sa market yung building na yan. So, mas mababa ang ating depreciation. Yan ang effect ng savings na yan. Kapag nagkaroon naman ng loss, hindi rin natin i-recognize ang loss na yan unless if it's materially excessive itong actual cost ng construction, doon tayo nagre-recognize ng loss sa profit or loss or the income statement. So, ganito po ang ating construction. I'll see you in my next video.